channel. This is Tibet Caroline. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I am in Kapkatet. So I am in the Kapkatet Kipsigis Museum. So join me in the journey of learning about the history of the Kipsigis community in the past. So welcome so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for welcoming us to Kipsigis Cultural Museum.
Yes.
So today, yes, I wanted to come and see what is offered here.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is an ethnographic mission.
Okay.
So which means that what we have here
Okay.
is gathers for a particular community. That's the Kipsigis people.
Okay.
Now, so this museum was started in 2008. So we have like 12 years.
12 years in existence.
So what we have here, we have traditional artifacts. Those things are people used a long time ago for decorations, for clothing, for games, for tools, and the rest. So I want to welcome you in a very special way. Welcome and see what we have. Okay, welcome.
Okay.
So we are now entering the museum where we have the showrooms,
Okay.
the show cabins where we placed all those things I told you about. So here we also have a library,
Okay.
which we call in our language Moinget.
Moinget.
These are the general books to do with history and other knowledges.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome. Okay, so this is this we start from this point here, and what we have here are traditional attire
Okay.
or our traditional clothes.
Clothes, yes.
We call them clothes. In fact, the direct translation is clothes, because these were what we used to wear
Okay.
a long time ago.
Okay.
So what you have at that corner
Okay.
is what we call menegubet. Yes, menegubet is our address for women,
Okay.
especially that's got a hood, especially when they are coming out from seclusion.
Okay.
So in our language, we call it menegubet, or the other name for it is jemeriat. Madam, the rest of these clothes
Okay.
are collegiate, which were worn by women and men likewise,
Okay.
and massage is for boys
Okay.
who have gone for circumcision.
Okay.
Then this one here
Yes.
is an old man,
Okay.
a patriarch of the
Okay.
Kipsigis people.
Okay.
This is the man who declared
Yes.
that boys will sire children. That is now after the annihilation of the Kipsigis people,
Okay.
warriors by the Kisi people,
Kisi, yes.
the Kisi warriors. That was, they were ambushed and killed all of them. And then this man is the one, the only who remained
Yes.
to come now and do procreation.
Procreation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then these others are different kinds of. This is like a skirt for women. We call it chepkawit. Yeah. Okay, number 17 is what we call segerek, but it is actually a belt for women. The belt is worn at all times, and sometimes it's also ceremonial. It means that the woman who could wear this belt is the woman who could take the women who are in seclusion to the places of circumcision until they come out from that place.
Okay.
And then down here we have what we call chepkawit. Chepkawit is a dress for women. The name chepkawit is derived from the word keo, which means tied around the waist. So this is a skirt for women, which was worn at all times, and it's a beautiful dress, well beaded and also well oiled. And coming to this part, we have different items here. What we see are body decorations. Body decorations are those things you put on your body in order to look beautiful. And our people had various ways of making themselves look beautiful. For example, Semwet and Kipsigis were two different things. They were also ceremonial. Kipsigis was worn only by women who are of age. That's who are nearing to get married. They could wear those ones if they were really virgins. They could not wear if they are not what? Virgins. And Semwet is another ceremonial item which was worn by women, as you can see in that picture, during taking the women through the phases of when they are training those women who are in seclusion. Worship was worn by women. I believe you will notice Oshik was worn by women just on the lower torso or the lower groins, only to cover this particular part of the body. And Nariet is something else. Nariet was like a crown, or when you are graduating, coming out from boyhood to manhood. So people used to wear Nariet. That's when they are graduating now. We also have Ngalasit, Shebanik, and Kinyatet, which are also beauty items, but Kinyatet is a belt for men.
So we are done with the body decorations, as you learned about Malingo, Tiet, and all those. So we are moving now to a section of music and dance, what was worn during music and the dancing era.
One.
Okay, so now we are going to the music section, and in the music section I can see here we have Ketuba and we have Chemonge that were used during the music festival. So you see with Ketuba and Chemonge, they have around 6 strings, and this the current now it is also known as a guitar. And then we have here another one that is called Kimenge. So Kimenge, there is a difference, it has only 1 string as compared to Chemonge and Ketuba. And also at the top there we have what we call sombet, and also we have the monkey strings. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the sombet was also used during the dance, those ones that are put at the head of an individual, as you can see. And then we also have longet. Longet was also the one that is used during dance and during any kind of music festival. So I hope you are able to see and able to learn.
Now come closer and take a picture of these things I've explained. Kasembet is there, number 59. And then we also had those people who used to do what? The wakanga, wale wa zamani, They used to have to cast what we call lots, casting lots. Now, our people had ways of predicting something or knowing something, foreseeing. And these are people who are consent for the people so that they could learn and identify some other things. In the Kipsigis land, we had 3 different kinds of people. We had the witch doctor or the herbalist. We had the witch. We have also the seers, which we usually call them prophets. And we have these ones now who are able to interpret something. So the people who used to, this calabash and those beads there are called the seers and people who could predict something. Now, these are some of the things I've told you about. The belt, which is there, and we also have lalet, which is a horn. Actually, they use it to bleed somebody when there is an internal injury where the blood has clotted. And we also have a pot here, a pot number 50 there, which was used to boil medicine. People also used to burn herbs in order to get the ashes, which we call busarek. These were used to treat various maladies like what people used to call korosoi, which is actually when somebody has got a swollen liver. That's it. Okay, these are an assortment of containers that were used by our people for food, milk, and also water. So up there we have komda. It is a small calabash with something like a head, which was for patriarchs. That's people who are heads of the family. And it was also ceremonial. Next is soteta absoluta, which means it was only for mothers who are lactating, those who have very young children. And the others are, you can see a very big calabash there, which we call kikesanet. Kikesanet was a calabash which was used during ceremonies like weddings, and it was also something that was used for milk, sour milk. Actually, when the mother-in-law goes back after coming for the wedding of the daughter, they used to give her the milk in that calabash to carry with what we call lequelate back to her home. And then down there we have what we call keojet. Keojet was a serving bowl for meat. That's for men now. And here, number 99 is a big food basket which we call jemosindo. It is a kishet which is very big, and it was used to take a very big lump of ugali for the boys who are now in their seclusion during circumcision. And down there we also had our own version of a bowl for vegetables, you know, whatever. And a horn there, number 61, was used to take milk, to drink milk. That's it. And we have another one there, Tiberata absoluta, which was used by a mother who is also lactating. It's a serving bowl for that mother. They put ugali and vegetables together. Then she can now start eating. Now, we can now move. You can see number 67 was is the name of it is keregut. That was used to put or to make beer for the man of the house. Usually, the men long time ago used to have their own small pots which has beer. Whenever they come back from hunting or doing some work or maybe grazing, they sit now in the house and they sip their own beer from keregut. Kishatab coke was for men. Actually, they used to eat as a group at a side of the house which is called coke. Up here is what we call is livestock husbandry, and we had those things we used long time ago in keeping our animals. Anwet, that's number 84, was to tie the calves, and Rigator was for tying the cows and also the bulls. And those are the bells they used to tie around the necks of the cattle when they are grazing. You can monitor them even when they are far. And kabloinik is a quiver which contains the small bladed arrow which they used to bleed a cow when they want to take the blood. And that's a small pot which they used to tap the water, the blood of the cow. This is for milking. So our cattle had small teats, so they used to have this one to just milk inside into the mouth. So our people used to have their own way of grinding the millet and the sorghum. So they used to remove the millet from the ears and then after removing, using borator, they put it now in the mortar. You see the mortar number 93. And then they use arrow pin to pound them. You know, you pound them in order to release the chaff from the millet. After which they now winnow to remove the chaff, and then place them on the grinding stone, and then they start, which we call koitabai, and then they start grinding using isiet. You see that? And then these others are kibogayet, which they used to hold pushes when they are slashing. This one, so short, number 89, is what the Kipsigis people use in cleaning the calabash, the inside of the calabash. Also, it is also used when you are grinding the charcoal, the heated charcoal, into the calabash before you place milk inside there. And then we have another item here, which is big. It is called kubanda. Now this is a blacksmith's bellows. Our people also used to make iron from the raw material that could be found locally. Even before the white man came, that's when there was that conflict of stealing the rail metal. Our people used to have their own raw material, which they used to dig to the ground and remove the kind of soil that is rich in iron. Then they pan it at a very high temperature in order to release the iron from the soil. So what they actually did was that this thing was used to pump air into the fire in order for the fire to attain that high temperature to melt the iron that is in the soil. Okay, so this now the reject of the metal. This is the waste. After now coming out with clean metal like this, which you used to make machete, which was a hand hoe, and the chepkasoid, which was a sword or a knife, machete, marut, which was a slasher. So those are basically what we could show from this side of tools. Okay, now we are done with the machines. I hope I have explained enough on this side. Now we are entering into this place. This is what we call kota blawok. Kota blawok is a house, that's a hut. It also couples as the main house. Okay, the inside of the house is like this. There are partitions in this house where men sit and also where the grooms sit. The men and the grooms sit at this place called Injor. It is always a man's place. And the woman's place is in Totet, where there is also a cooking fire, and they also have a place to sit. The other side of Totet is where the man of the house sleeps, which we call it Kibelgonyan. And coming out of that inner place, we come now to this to this door here, and we get to find that there is a door which is more or less like a block, or rather, what we could say, a board. And then coming out of this door, there's always a boundary here. You know, it is a house which has got boundaries. Men used to sit on this side of the house, where you get to find Mabwaita on the eastern side of the house. You find also Longet and the spear, which the man used to hold all the time. Mabwaita was an altar or a prayer place for the family, and usually the man of the house acts as a patriarch, or rather a spiritual leader. They come to the altar in the morning with milk in the calabash, and then the man of the house will sprinkle now the milk on the altar while chanting the prayers. And the prayers were more or less like how we pray nowadays. And then on this other side, we also have some of the sticks, maces, that they used to have a long time ago for various reasons. The first one here is what we call Batai. It is that's the name. I know if you can pronounce it. It was for leadership only. This was used for leading. Hence the name Kimakwatany Batai, which means you don't use it to hit a cow. It is only for leadership. And then we have this fly whisk and the rungut. Those were just for leaders. This one here is another mace, which is they use it for courts. We had traditional courts long time ago. So you pin it on the ground where the court is being held, so that now the session of the hearing could be had. Now this other is a stick for peace. This one was used whenever there is a fracas or a fight between two warring parties. The man who can hold this stick can come and put it on right across where these people are fighting, so that the war will stop while peace is sought temporarily. And this other is for herding cows, and this one was for engagement. We call it Kiroktab Goito. Sigil Giliot was a walking stick for women, and this one here and these are just decorated sticks by the women when they are in seclusion. We also have a container here which we call mesegaswet. This is now for containing straws which people use when they are taking beer. Now this one is a salt lick for cattle, and this one here is called awito. Awito is actually an umbrella. You know, people used to have their own version of an umbrella. This one now was big enough to cover a child and a mother when they are walking or when they are doing anything. This here is a bag. A bag which is synonymous so much with so many people. I think a bag is almost the same all over the world. The design, and this one is a traditional one. Samburto, that's the bag. Now, this other side now is where women sat all the time. This is where women used to do all their things like winnowing, preparing millet, maybe making clothes, the traditional clothes, etc., etc. This side also is called Kametet. The name Kametet is derived from the word metete, which means chaff. It is because all the time when they are winnowing, chaff falls all over, and so it's called Kametet, and it is a preserve for women. Now, this one here is Kipkubuit. Kipkubuit is an interesting thing. It is a bird trap. They used to trap birds a lot because birds, you know, come to pick the fallen millet. So it is called Kipkubuit. These are a basket which they used to, when they are harvesting millet and sorghum, they put it inside. So if you come closer, I can show you something else. This is a calabash which is called Kipsilwet. You can notice that it has got grass on it, and it is looking up. Now, Kipsilwet was used by women actually, lactating mothers. Somebody will place water inside that calabash and put it in that place strategically, so that whenever the mother of the house, who is also lactating, wants to prepare food for the family, she comes and does what? She washes her hands here before she enters to make food for the family. So I believe up to that point, I believe we have one last item here, which we call lekolet. Lekolet was like a knapsack, you know, that thing you place on your back when you are carrying something. So they used to carry big boats, beer boats, or big calabashes which contains milk. So they put it in the middle here, tie it around, and then they tie it on the back as they carry it. So, and then one last thing, I didn't explain so much about this one. This is a shield. It look more or less the same with our top, but this one is a shield. A shield is what they use to protect themselves from war when they are during war, especially when you are fighting with other people. So you protect yourself from arrows and spears. So this is the shield. It is made from the hide of the strongest animals like the buffalo, the elephant, the hippopotamus. That's it.
So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you've been able to learn all about the Kipsigis culture that was in the past. I hope you'll be able to enjoy this video also. So kindly don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more amazing videos on the culture of our community. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video.